welcome to Bradley the Singing Chef. Today I am going to make one of my favorite dessert recipes of all time, mainly because it is super quick and super easy to throw together, and it's super delicious. These are called Hello Dolly bars. So obviously it's named after Hello Dolly, the musical, so that's also near and dear to my heart. But also, I used to see this dessert show up all the time at church potlucks when I was growing up. At a church potluck that would get lots of food around a table for people to enjoy together. So it has a nice warm memory for me as well. But I also think it's probably because people were like, oh, there's a potluck, I gotta throw something together fast. I'll bring Hello Dolly bars. So I'm gonna show you how quick and easy they are. First thing I've done is I've preheated my oven to 325 degrees. I have a 9x13 pan because I like these bars to be a little bit thinner. This recipe also works for a 9x9 baking dish as well, but I'm using a 13x9 because I like them to be a little bit thinner. I've lined this 9x9 pan with aluminum foil, and I've just let it like drape over the edges here. That's gonna make it easier, I hope, for me to get these bars out of the pan once I'm finished. And then I'm gonna take some cooking spray, and I'm gonna spray the sides of that foil and the bottom of that foil, as well as any part of the pan that's still showing over on the edges, to make sure that I get these off pretty easily once I am finished cooking. Okay, let's see how simple this is. I have about a stick and a half of butter that I've melted. That is going into a mixing bowl. And to that butter, I'm going to add 2 cups of graham cracker crumbs. You can buy the crumbs in the box, or you can use graham crackers and just smash them up either in a food processor or in a plastic bag with a rolling pin. Probably takes about 1 sleeve of graham crackers to get 2 cups or so of these crumbs. So that is going into the butter. Then I'm just gonna mix that together to get all the crumbs coated in butter to make the crust for these Hello Dolly bars. Once I get everything pretty combined, kind of looks like wet sand, I'm gonna dump everything that I've combined here into that prepared baking dish. That's why I went ahead and did that. So take all of that mixture, all that buttery golden goodness, and get it into your baking dish. There we go. Now, I'm gonna take this and I'm just gonna spread it around in an even layer on the bottom of this pan. Get it spread around. Make sure there's none left in my spoon. And then, I'm gonna use God's utensils here. I'm gonna press this crust into the bottom of the baking dish, getting an even layer of that graham cracker butter mixture all the way to the corners of my pan. If you do a 9x9 pan, obviously this crust is going to be a little bit thicker. But this is the size that I prefer. So I'm doing a 13x9. Either one works. All right, once that is pretty firmly pressed into the bottom of your dish, I have a cup and a quarter of chocolate chips. Use your chocolate chip of choice. It can be semi-sweet, it can be dark chocolate, it can be milk chocolate, whatever you like, or actually what you've got in your pantry is perfect. And I'm gonna take those chocolate chips and just sprinkle those all over the bottom of the crust. Get those nice and distributed so every bar gets some chocolate. Perfect. Next layer. I have a cup of chopped pecans, or pecans, or pecans. I call them pecans. I think that's because I'm from the South. Those also go over all the chocolate chips. It's a cup of chopped pecans. As you can see, there's nothing easier than just dumping a bunch of ingredients into a baking dish. Come on, couldn't get any easier than that. Next layer, I have a cup of shredded coconut. I have sweetened coconut. You can use either, whatever you prefer for your sweetness level. And I'm just gonna sprinkle all of that coconut all over the pecans and the chocolate chips. Again, that's a cup of shredded coconut. Can you see where we're going with this dessert, y'all? I mean, come on. This is a flavor combination. It also reminds me a little bit of Girl Scout cookies, you know, the ones that have the coconut on them. And it's Girl Scout cookie time, so guess I had a craving. All right, so there goes the cup of dried coconut. Last step is a can of sweetened condensed milk, okay? This is a 14-ounce can. I'm just gonna pop the top. And just like all those other pieces and parts were super easy, so is this. I'm gonna just drizzle all of this can all over what's in that baking dish. Oh yeah. That's amazing looking. Even layer. Try to get all of the stuff underneath covered. And that one can should do it. Yeah. Get over here on this edge. Still got a little bit drizzling out there. Make sure I get everything covered. I've got a spoon on hand just to scrape out the last bits of this sweetened nectar of sweetened condensed milk. Don't want to waste any of that. And that, my friends, is it. That's how you make Hello Dolly bars. Like, it's that simple. You literally mixed up some graham crackers and melted butter, dumped in some things, drizzled in one thing, and in the oven, you were ready to go. It's going in my 325-degree oven for about a half an hour. Keep an eye on it at about the 20-25 mark, especially if you're using the larger pan, to make sure. If you see that the coconut and stuff is getting golden around the edge of the pan, that's when it's pretty good to go. You don't want the any of the coconut that's in the center to necessarily get brown, otherwise I think your edges will probably burn. So like I said, about the 20-minute mark, give it a look, see where you are, continue up until about a half an hour, and you should be good to go. I'm gonna pop this in the oven, and I'll be back. Hey y'all, we are back. Okay, so I had my Hello Dolly bars in the oven, took about 30 or so minutes till it got a little bit brown around just the edges on the coconut. And then I took it out and let it sit for about an hour before I am ready to cut these and give them a taste. First, I'll show you. That's what they look like in the pan. Oh my gosh. And they smell amazing. So, because we've got that foil on the bottom, this should be pretty easy to come out of my pan. Let's see how we did. Oh, yeah, that looks amazing. Just gonna give it a little bitty taste. Cut a piece off with my knife. Oh yeah. That buttery crust, and the chocolate and the coconut and pecans is perfect. You are going to want to make this, trust me. Try this Hello Dolly bar recipe out. You and your family and friends will thank me, I promise. Thanks so much for joining me on Bradley the Singing Chef. Eat well, love always, bon appetit, y'all.